scary to contemplate the passage of time. 50 years ago, 1972, was the year that it all started for Brock, the first of 9. I can remember being at Calder. Remember when Harry Firth ran these things and they were silver and they looked like someone had fire hosed silver and matte black all over them? They'd been painted with a broom. And then this thing turned up, or this one, if not, it might have been Peter Brock's. But I was standing at Glowweave Corner at Calder and watching the thing, and it went by and it was like the space shuttle. It was unbelievable to see.
Well, they look so good compared to what series production cars did back in the day. They were traditionally colours that came out of the factory just with the odd sticker on it. So this thing, like you, for me, really stood out. They're amazing cars, and you know, I couldn't wait. Actually, I had a GTR, it was my second car. I had a HT Holden, and then I couldn't wait until I got something like this. And then, of course, I drove it and realised I would have been better off with the HT.
I sat in the back of one, which effectively cured me in 1977. Family friend Graham Henderson introduced me to Bathurst, sat in the back seat of one, all the way from Ballarat to Bathurst. I needed a chiropractor afterwards. It was a shocking thing.
You should have worn your kidney belt. So for those of you that don't know what these things are like, they ride like a dray, but weren't they an amazing race car? They were just fantastic.
It was a beautiful little race car. So without looking, because I used to draw this in primary school, let's go through the sponsors. HDT, which is the Holden dealer team.
Absolutely.
Don't look. No, you're cheating. Pilkington Glass, TAA, Levi's, Castrol, Commodore Hotels. Have we missed anyone?
I don't know, because it was later in life I started reading cars for signage. When I needed to find a little for myself.
Trying to write invoices. I just about give anything except money for one of these. I remember seeing, I think it was this car at Ian Tate's in Melbourne when we made the Legends of Motorsport series. He pulled the cover off it, and it is beautiful. It's owned by a friend of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, John and Donna, who sponsored Macca since he's got into car racing. What most people don't understand, because this was a series production car, you know, I've raced series production. When you're finished with them, you turn them back into road cars and you sell them. And then after that, John came along and bought it and then had it restored totally to this form.
I saw something in the back. I wandered around because it triggered a memory, and this is another true story. So at Calder, my dad and family friend, when these things were released as road cars, covered my eyes. We parked in the car park, so this is early 70s, I guess 71 or 72, and walked me up and then did I think it would have been 72 because the GTR preceded this, and then did the reveal standing right here, and it just about made me burst into tears because the back of them, I mean, this was state of the art.
Yeah,
the fact that it had the spoiler on the back and the matte black finish across it, and you know, when you're 11 or 12 and car racing's your thing, there is nothing bigger in the universe. This was heaven on a stick. This was life.
Yeah, no, but for me, as a kid, I can remember them stopping in Albury and getting breakfast. So Tatey and Brock would be across the road from my dad's shop, and I'd go and crawl all over these things.
Did 10 or 11 or 12-year-old Brad ever imagine that you'd either race with, or in both our cases, drive with Peter Brock or Colin Bond?
I used to say to people, when I used to watch television from 1968, if I ever had an inkling that I would be friends and drive for Brock and go through all that madness, you wouldn't, you couldn't believe it as a little kid. It was, no one could get me away from the television. I'd sit there, my mum would bring me sandwiches, and any time I go to the toilet, there's an ad break, it's crazy stuff.
You look in the thing, it's so simple. And it's a standard road car with an is it an aluminium?
Yeah, it's an aluminium. I'm pretty sure it's an aluminium.
So it's got all the heated controls and it's got carpet in it. There's a story around the seats too, isn't there?
Yeah, apparently you could get them in vinyl, or you could get this insert in them, and Bondi used to have the insert because he didn't slide around so much on the vinyl. I mean, have a look at that seat. Could you imagine driving this thing quickly? No. I remember Fred Gibson telling me he used to, in the console of the GTHO, he'd peel oranges.
Yeah, they have fruit.
And have fruit in there, and so, especially when they do the whole race by themselves, and then when he rolled that thing over, all the fruit flew around inside the car. But it's now they use gel shots, don't they? It's very different.
Let's have a look under the bonnet. Yeah, no, look at it. I mean, it's an inline six. I know where to put the oil, I can see the coil, I can spot the distributor, I know where the fuel pump is, power assisted brakes, battery, radiator, done, close it, send it.
But it's disconnected.
Well, what a cool thing, what a beautiful thing.
Oh.
And being able to get anywhere near it in the paddock, to be able to stand near it, to hear it, was a big deal. You going to start it? Music.
How good is that?
It's good, isn't it?
What a fantastic little car.